Welcome to Not All Business, a podcast by two former CEOs who went from competitors to friends. I'm Blakely Graham, and my co-host is Heather Cooper. And we're joined by our producer, Clay, who keeps us going from off the rails most of the time. Today, we're talking about the conversation women aren't having, money. Women are about to control unprecedented wealth, but we still can't talk about it. The silence is costing us. All right, we probably should keep our banter a bit tight today, Heather, because we're running a little behind. Thanks, Clay.
What the hell? People don't, it doesn't matter to other people. It doesn't matter to anyone listening.
No, here's what's happening. I'll tell you exactly what's happening. What's happening is I'm getting texts on the regular. Who's your producer? He's so good. Can I hire him? So I think it's getting to his head a little bit. And I think now he's like getting to be this perfectionist. Let's get this just perfect because he's getting more business out of us.
I've referred him to at least 2 or 3 shows as well. So pretty
you better
much
keep
we're getting
your
dumped.
Priorities straight, Clay. Okay, can you imagine? He's like, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm on location with Left Main this week.
Well, okay, so wait, what if like during this podcast I get a phone call for like a business opportunity, and so I'm just like,
find out. Why don't you find out what happens? No, go ahead. Find out.
You have to understand. Okay, so Heather has done something that she has been able to wield over me her entire life, my entire life, which is that she says, "See what happens." Or did you notice the switch in her voice? It went a little lower, and there was a threat. And that is how I have been living in fear from our entire
So
friendship.
you've been bullied since childhood, Clay?
No, he's been lawyered. It's my lawyer face.
See?
Anyone who knows and loves me, they know I can slip
He
into
said
it pretty
childhood.
quickly.
It's not like you were a lawyer when you were 10 years old. You've been bullying Clay. Were you alive then yet, Clay?
I don't think
not.
So I'm 51. How old are you?
I'm 35.
See?
Not alive.
I was a lawyer pretty much since I met you. It's just a tone. It's okay.
I know, but
it works.
It's very effective.
Thank you.
It works. And also thank you for the referrals.
You're very welcome. I will continue to make them as long as I see that it's in my best interest.
How did we get on this? Because Blakely was like, we're late.
I don't know.
And now
it reminds me, I should get a kickback of this too, which I haven't even negotiated with you yet. We'll talk
I
about
told
that
you
later.
he needs to be running these through our media company. This is ridiculous.
NAB Media.
You'll actually be hearing from my lawyer about that. And my legal counsel.
Let me just put on my other hat.
And my legal counsel is Heather.
Yes. Heather Cooper. Yeah. Yep. That's right.
All right, Heather, what's the update? What's been going on with you?
Getting over my sickness, my annual.
What sickness? Oh, like post
my Dreamforce sickness. Yeah, I had a fever yesterday. Fought it down though.
Oh, shit.
I had a dangerous amount of vitamin C. Am I dualical orange today?
Did you do that IV liquid one that our last guest was talking about, Alden?
No, and I thought about it, and it scared me to think about my blood looking hot pink outside my body. I'm not there yet. But no, I think like 6 of those emergency packets. I don't know how many you can take in one day, but I feel like I pushed it.
Doesn't one of those have like 6,000% of your daily dose of vitamin C?
Yeah.
So then you took 6 of those?
Yeah. I had 36,000. I feel like our guest is going to be able to weigh in on this. She's a super healthy nut person.
I was like, are you taking it with a fat? Because vitamin C is fat soluble. So it's better to do a liposomal delivery of vitamin C than it is just those packets.
Then good news for me. Yes, because I had it with a piece of pizza.
There we go.
Success.
I'm still worried about your health, Heather.
I know you should be. Remember that McDonald's?
Keep in mind, our group chat is called Protein Posse. There's not that much protein in pizza.
So true.
So you were on the text message thread. I don't know if this ever went live on the podcast, but we did record a session where Heather was she was pre-wedding. She was really working on trying to get her protein up, and so she went to McDonald's. We all do.
She was on. I texted. This is the chat that I texted.
Okay. So
and I said, "This is me trying." So I was like, I googled how many grams of protein in a quarter pounder,
and then
versus what I would normally
shaming you. It was
because
so mean.
You did shame me pretty bad.
Shame you.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Anyway, it has more than 2 cheeseburgers. So anybody out there wanting to increase your protein, go with a 1/4 pounder versus the 2 cheeseburgers because you'll have more protein. What's my PSA?
Oh, sorry. There's Hayfa just left. I don't know. Was it something we said or?
She's so offended.
I did actually just on the protein conversation. I did just see an ad for instant ramen that has protein, like in the noodles.
It's gone extreme at this point, to be honest.
Yeah,
protein in everything, right?
Protein.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blake,
I have a powder that's like a protein water. No joke.
That's ridiculous.
Tastes like lemonade. It's lemon flavored, so it's like.
Yeah, but with the GLP-1 thing, it's like all of the stuff is coming out. Like, here's how to get your protein if you're not hungry. I mean, that's the whole next phase of this because Hostess is about to go out of business. They did put together a protein donut, by the way. They were a client of Cloud Coach, so they sent us a whole shipment of protein/energy donuts. It was like a new thing. I don't know if it ever took off, but they're scrambling. They're scrambling.
I feel like Hostess has been threatening to go out of business for the last 30 years. So,
yeah, but this is the first time
Twinkies.
that the whole, 1/3 of the world is on these drugs now.
On GLP-1s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting topic. Maybe we should be covering that soon. It's very controversial, at least in my demographic.
What's your demographic again?
Academics and athletics. Nothing else. No culture. That's it. That's what I call it. Which is actually not true. I went to an inaugural music festival in Boulder the other day. And let me tell you, people do not move to Boulder, Colorado, or Colorado in general for the music scene. They don't. I mean, you guys are from Detroit, music scene. Yeah. I'm from Seattle, big music scene. Colorado, And we don't have really an art scene. We don't have a culture scene. We just, not culture scene. Well, I guess yes, that is what I mean, but music. And so there's this group that Scott and I have been kind of connected with, going to shows. Our son plays at their, their warehouse, and they went piggybacked on top of Sundance because we acquired Sundance. That's happening next year. So that'll be interesting. I mean, that's like our first it's a big deal. Adult step into, I guess, culture. Yeah. And they teamed up with, I think, one of the venture partners from Sundance and decided to start a music festival. So that is what we did for the last 3 days. That's probably why my eyes are so red. We just saw so much music. And here is what was so cool about it. I'm totally taking over this conversation because I love music so much. And I have new posters. I will change them up next week.
Cool.
Half of the live music we saw this weekend, or more than half probably, were bands from Colorado, and they were good.
Really?
So good. Watch for them. They are going to go somewhere. At least one of them for sure. I know they're just going to take off. And so
from all over Colorado, or?
Yeah, from all over.
Northern?
Here, I'll list my top 3 favorites just so everyone can listen. I need to put together a playlist. One actually I saw the week before called Dead Pioneers. They are from Denver. They are kind of rooted in the Indigenous experience. So very kind of justice cultural, commentary, I would say. A little bit punk, so a little bit angry. The lead track
What's
you should listen
justice
to
commentary?
Bad Indians. It's like a little spoken word.
What?
Justice commentary, cultural commentary. What do you call
social justice?
Yeah, I guess so. They talk a lot about, their position on land use, right? And they talk about land dedications and the performative nature of them. Just really the thoughtful stuff that makes you think. That was cool. The one that we saw at this festival, another one was called 2MX2. Now these folks, I am telling you, they are going somewhere. They are also, they're Latinx. They are hip hop, rap, punk, rock all into one. And they also have a very so good. They're from the San Luis Valley. They have very much a justice message, but theirs is like wrapped up in like hope and joy and positivity, which is a very different flavor. Like they both have a place, but it was so powerful. They are going to skyrocket. I know it. And then the third band, Banshee Tree, which if Americana is a genre, I'm not sure if it's an official genre yet, but that's my kind of like easy listening music, and it was phenomenal. They were so
Your
good.
easy listening music
drummer.
is Banshee Tree.
Banshee Tree. I just like there was a powerhouse
kick back
woman,
in my
you
rocking
don't
chair
see women
while you're
behind
knitting.
the drum set, and it was so cool. It was
Oh, I
so
like
cool.
that. I like a female drummer.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
such a good weekend. Red eyes now. I didn't need vitamin C, but I bet you I would have stayed up a lot later if I did have it.
Hey, have you ever gone to a rage room?
I went to a rave. Is that the same thing?
No, it's not the same. A rage room where you go and you bust shit up with a bat.
I like to suppress my rage. Keep it on the inside.
I'm taking you to a rage room.
So you
need
are
to let
the rage
this out.
room? Like you're...
She's
am
inside.
Actually, unfortunately,
She's like, I'm raging right now.
Rage.
From the inside out. No, you just go in there and they give you some goggles and you get to pick your weapon. So they've got crowbars, they've got bats, they've got hockey sticks, anything you could, hammers. And then there's plates, and you actually buy, like you can buy, of course they're making money on this. So you can buy like, I'll take the $25 set. I'll take the $100 set. And it's like more dishes. If you really want to get nuts, there's like TVs. And so we went as a team a while ago. And so you just put all this stuff, and then you just go to town and you're just busting stuff up. You're throwing plates against a wall and it crashes all over. Feels so good. It's so good. Because you can't do that in normal life.
Talk about the environmental justice band I saw, who would not
No.
like all these plates being crashed.
Look, they're going in landfills anyway, so they're just going to go in smaller pieces.
So let's produce more.
I feel like Heather, you
guys-
didn't go to the music festival. It sounds like you should have gone.
I really missed
I
out.
know. It's like
did.
natural rage release, right?
Is this a symptom of like desk job culture and not being able
Absolutely.
to talk about what you need to talk about at work? Like you are bringing like a false self to work?
I'm just going to say I'm feeling shamed right now.
No, actually, I think it's really
feeling-
good. Heather
I'm
and I
feeling
have
on
been
the
talking
defense right now.
about-
I feel like you're
No,
not hearing.
I'm hearing you.
Are
I'm
you inner
hearing
child?
you.
I would have been such a good alpha, Gen Alpha, or whoever it is that they need to hear, that be heard all the time. I was a Gen X. Nobody gave a shit what I had to say.
No, we're
You know, the kids that
forgotten generation.
they need to be. I would have been so good at milking every second out of that, though. I'm not feeling like you're. I shouldn't make fun of it. That's generational discrimination.
Who says we can't do that on the show?
I don't know.
I'm going to go ahead and say
everyone-
as a member of a different generation that we shouldn't do generational discrimination on this show.
Well,
but
we shouldn't do discrimination
that
on the
is
show,
my
but
position.
We can make fun of Gen Xers.
Yeah.
Like if you
We are, so we can make fun of them.
So Heather, here's an idea for you. And this is why I'm not shaming you. I'm really listening.
For my rage?
We've been talking about not all business like retreats and road shows.
Yes.
And we don't want them to be like boring sessions. We want them to
Right.
be interactive. So we've got like our last guest, Alden's going to teach us breath work.
Yes.
We had like another really cool person who was going to do like an interactive. We do interactive resume writing. What if we do like interactive like rage rooms? We
Raging.
can do that. We can add it. Add it to the agenda. We want it to be
Absolutely.
fully immersive experience.
Yeah.
Not all
Yes.
business, roadshow.
Right.
We're going to rage.
Also mushrooms. Let's do that too.
We are not.
I've never
we're
done
not-
it. Why? I think I've heard good things. I've never done it. Yes.
There's
I
a
knew-
lot
I
of
love
mushrooms at the
Hayfa.
rave I went to on Saturday night, which I did not talk about because
Okay.
they're not from
You
Colorado.
kept
but-
saying, okay, so Blakely, you kept saying that your eyes were super red, but you weren't being specific about why they were red. And I just wanted
Were you
to
on the substances?
give you a moment.
When you are in a stadium with 30,000 people that are on the substance, it just gets in the air. So, and so I have very dry eyes from the air. I did not, I didn't even drink, you guys. At the
Here's
rave.
Blakely. Here's Blakely at the concert doing her breath work, like like sucking in as much as she can. she's like, okay, here, let me take a super deep breath.
But I'll tell you the truth. I wasn't drinking. And so I did try to inhale a little bit of my neighbor's
Their breath work.
Yeah. You're sharing
their output. Yeah.
Did it work?
It's true. It's true.
Did you get it?
All right. We have a tie agenda
Changing
because
the
our
subject.
guest is going to talk about a lot. And so I'm going to bring her on. What do you think? Should we get down to business?
Yes.
I needed confirmation and affirmation. Okay.
Yes.
I mean,
all right.
Go for it.
I am going to switch
ready.
gears. Okay. Shut up. I have to pull up my teleprompter.
Well, she's already been part of the conversation anyways. Too fun. We got to keep her in.
Our guest today is Hayfa Aboukier, principal at Range Ventures, a Denver-based VC firm. For Clay, that stands for Venture Capital.
Thank you.
She's one of the few female VCs out there, folks. Women make up only 9 to 15%, depending on which study you read, of VC partners. But Hayfa didn't start investing. She spent 15 years as an operator, building and scaling teams at startups. You've probably heard of Gusto, Rupa Health. She's also super big nerd on health, fitness, and nutrition. It's very fun to get her going on this topic. She believes in the whole person approach, not just the hustle. And that combo, operator turned investor who actually gives, I was going to say gives a rat. Well, I just did. Gives a rat's ass about health and sustainability, gives her a pretty unique lens on how women, money, and venture capital actually intersect. Oh, Clay's not going to like that. I just touched my microphone.
We're keeping it in.
All right, Hayfa, welcome to Not All Business. Hi, everyone. Blakely here. This episode of Not All Business is brought to you by yours truly, where strategist Cindy Fergard helps growth-minded leaders navigate pivotal moments with confidence. I worked with Cindy when I was CEO of TaskRay, and she's what I call a CEO whisperer. She helped us execute a complete brand pivot, boosted me up as a leader, and set us up to hit aggressive growth targets that led to our successful exit. Whether you've hit a growth plateau or you're evolving your company, maybe you're at a career crossroads, yours truly provides the strategic guidance you need, because what got you here won't always get you where you want to go. So sometimes you need a Cindy to help push you forward. Visit itsyourstruly.com and mention Not All Business for a complimentary strategy consultation. Okay, back to the show.
Hi, Hayfa.
Woo!
Welcome.
Hello.
All right, what's your push-up count? Oh, not push-up, pull-up. I don't. Your push-up count's probably like 100,000.
I've crossed the chasm of weighted pull-ups, which has been very.
What is that? Like you're wearing a weighted vest situation?
Not.
I can't with a walk around in a weighted vest.
You have like a belt with a
like a kettlebell, a big ball.
No,
like hanging down from your waist.
With a kettlebell, just like a plate.
Hold on a minute. Is this because? Okay, this is blowing my mind. This is because your weight is not enough to be a challenge anymore. So she needs to add weight to her body to still stay challenged.
Correct.
Oh my God!
Keep in mind, this is like year 3. So this has been a very slow progression. And
I've been doing this for 15 years.
You've been trying to pull up for 15 years?
I've been trying.
You could do more than that, Blakely.
One.
We could get you higher. I think the most recent round of training I'm in, I haven't done like a how many reps can I do in a row in a while, but I've been doing 4 weighted pull-ups and it's like 6 rounds of supersets with weighted dips.
You are so badass.
And
you're only one of 10% of people in your role. Like badass.
My new favorite muscle group are back muscles.
Back muscles.
Talk to me about that. What do you mean? Like that's where you're focusing right now?
Well, I think people often think pull-ups are arms. It's all back.
No.
People say the way to like think about a pull-up is you're not like using your arms. You're kind of like putting pressure on the bar as if like you're going to break the bar so you can feel it in your lats. So like
my trainer tells me to
you're
actually
using your back versus your arms.
That's what I've been doing wrong.
Sorry, everyone's doing this, so I got to do it too.
I just learned how to breathe last week. So
my trainer says to like push back, like come off the bar, like lean back a little bit. And that way you're engaging your lats more. It was like a good cue for me not to just kind of do this, right?
Just like scrunch in
back. Yeah.
My trainer says to stop eating McDonald's.
And there are progressions you can do, right? Like to help build towards the pull-ups. Like a chin up is different than a pull-up. Like neutral grip is different than the wide grip versus like there's all sorts of flavors.
If someone is starting, let's just say someone can't do a single pull-up, where would you recommend that they...
Who's that on this show?
I can do one. I can do one right now. My max in my life, at one point I was able to do 6. I just wanted to say that on the record so that for the next...
You should be very proud of that. You want to be back there.
Thank you.
That's impressive. I can only hang off of a monkey bar for so long. That's where I'm at.
Okay, so Heather...
That's actually also very impressive, Heather. Really.
That's
like
very
grip
impressive.
strength is huge.
So for Heather, if she wants to get into being able to do one pull-up, how should she start?
Okay, there's a couple different like progressions. Like you can just be like, you can like have the bar on like the squat rack and like pull, like you'd be like underneath the bar and just like you're pulling. So you're like slowly building your back muscles as one part of the progression.
Am I standing
so like that
or am I
mimics
laying?
the same.
Am I laying down on the
Yeah,
bench?
you're kind of like on an angle and your like feet are in front of you.
Okay, got
and
it.
then, I mean, honestly, doing like using a band or using one of the machines that have like assisted pull-ups just to start to like build the
wake those muscles up a little bit
there. Yeah, yeah. So like you can, figure out the right weight for the assistance. Right. So you're still doing a pull-up. You're just not doing your full body weight because it's counteracting. Right. And then you can slowly like decrease that weight.
Is there a way for me to start doing this laying on the floor for a certain amount of time every day? Stretching. I feel like
You're
I could really
honestly better off like doing grip strength and like hanging.
Yeah, hanging. No, I have a tonal machine. It's great, but it's good for biceps and I can't hang off that
It's
thing.
not good for bench press.
All right,
but be careful.
I'm going to report back.
Turn off the safeties, Heather. Turn off the safeties.
What does that mean?
Don't you remember when your tonal machine almost killed me?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I never heard about this. What happened?
It was on our third date.
Bench press. Yeah, it was like on our,
I got her up to my bedroom.
On her tonal.
Yeah.
And she goes, she asked me if I was ready, and she had turned off like the safety, and the tonal machine just went
right back.
Like, I had like 100 pounds like drop on my chest.
On her neck.
It was great.
I was like, I thought you said you were ready.
It's not ready for 100 pounds.
Please don't kill Blakely.
I didn't know how strong you were. You're always bragging about it, but
obviously not that strong yet.
Then you taught me how to do it.
That's when she said, "Start the podcast with me, and I'll make it all go away."
I was just in a very calm voice.
Yeah.
All right, Hayfa, we have a lot to talk about, and I really do want to talk about women and money and just like the awkward relationship. But I think before we do, we should probably talk a little bit about your job, because I think it's your story is a little interesting too. And just because I have all the numbers, on your intro, I said there was only like between 9 and 15% of women are VCs, like female VCs. The flip side of that is women are the recipient of only about, and this is a study I read, you might have different numbers, about 2 to 3% of the money coming out of VCs. So there's two really interesting sides there. I think hearing you talk passionately about women investing in money and their comfort with money, at some point, I think you probably got some of that passion from just the unique role you're in, or I'm just curious, how is being a female in this very male-dominated place? VC.
I mean, I unfortunately chose the path of like everything in my career has been very male dominated, being like an operator in tech. And then eventually I definitely more male in venture than in tech. I would say, so like taking a step back.
Hence the term finance bros, right? Like you're not hearing any finance femmes.
Right.
We should start that.
I know. Maybe we should rebrand. Maybe I need to start a finance femme thing.
Yes.
I like
it. It is funny though, because I like forget that venture capital is like, it is a finance job. It just feels like I still have a weird like relationship with even telling people about my job. But like taking
what is
that
back, like? What is that like? Is it like are you met with like, oh wow, that's interesting, or like a little bit?
I think people just have
shock?
a lot of assumptions, right? Like I think so. Taking a step back, like one, my parents are immigrant refugees. I grew up poor and on the poverty line. I did not grow up with financial literacy. I didn't even know what the hell venture capital was until I started working, like bumbled my way into like startups and learning about, you know, you get equity and like kind of learning about that world. And I'm like, okay, who's like, you know, and then having like very baby, no fuck you money, but like baby liquidity where you're like, who is making the money here? Like if it's like the companies are doing like on this trajectory, they're on this like growth path, whatever, and they're having these exits, whether that's through acquisitions or IPOs. Do you need me to explain IPO since it's an acronym? Okay. On the stock market, you know?
Sorry, initial public offering.
Initial public offering.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Initial public offering. Yeah. IPOs, which is like one avenue of liquidity that a company can have. Others are through private equity investing, like mergers and acquisitions, or the company dies or just like stays stable and doesn't really like return much capital. So personally, because of how I grew up, I was like very much on the, even though I didn't have a ton of financial literacy, it was like very aggressive about like climb the ladder, make more money, because like I thought, you know, that my biggest like fear and insecurity is financial insecurity. So like I anchored on that as like a North Star. We've like recalibrated things. That is still still like, you know, in
Makes
the
sense.
psyche.
Absolutely. I get that.
But finding my way into venture, right, like wasn't necessarily an accident. It was very, very intentional. I legitimately like stalked the partners at the fund when I was like, I'm ready to leave operating. I don't know, Blakely, if I've told you the story. I think I have, maybe.
Yeah, you know, my limited brain cells. So tell us again.
All good.
Especially after that concert. Yeah.
When I left full-time operating, I started my own like fractional business. And I was like, oh, okay, I could work with all these different companies. I wonder if I can find a way to get equity in these companies, whether through like advisory shares, etc. Hard, like it's pretty hard, as it should be. Like you should be really thoughtful about who you give some ownership to in your business. But that was kind of my intentional like stepping stone into, I want to like make my way into venture. And I can go into like some of the stuff that you touched on, Blakely, but the fund that I work at is a Colorado focused fund. So we're really like anchored into the like community here. And they used to host these quarterly women in tech events, and the only guys at the event are the two partners at the firm.
Classic.
I know. You know,
So great.
and I legitimately accosted one of the partners. I was like shared what I was doing in my consulting business. And this was like coming out of COVID. So I was like, I'm not generally a socially awkward person. I was mortified afterwards. Like, did I just scare this man? Did I come on too strong? As this like aggressive, like, I must introduce myself. We must know each other.
That's what you have to do.
Hopefully I could work with some of your companies as like clients in my consulting work.
Good for you.
And it actually like panned out. Now, keep in mind, like people are like, I get asked all the time, like, how did you get in venture? I'm like, this is not a copy and paste. I don't think most careers are like, I'm going to follow exactly what you did and I will be able to do the same thing. It was genuinely like I had worked at a ton of different startups from like first employee all the way to like just pre-IPO. I had been across different stages, across different industries. So it was just like what would some people would look at like, oh, she moved around a lot. And like, how do I like thread this together? I could thread it together, right? Like I was opportunistic. I'm like, climb the ladder, make more money, get more exposure, get more experience, change your, you know, like as you're in your 30s, you're like, or your 20s, you're figuring out what you like, what you're good at. And then you start to like narrow in on that in your 30s. And now, you know, almost 40, I'm like, okay, like all of this is a culmination perfectly suited for now what I'm doing as an investor. Not a lot of women in this space. And not a lot of like financial literacy. It's not even just like women as venture capitalists. There's not a lot of women investing capital into venture capital funds.
Yep.
So,
yes.
you know, where does the money come from that we invest into companies? They're called limited partners, LPs. And those LPs, you know, I remember when I first joined Range and I like looked around the room and I'm like, this is a sausage fest. Like every dude, like it's a room full of white dudes.
Yep.
And I'm like, where the fuck are the women? Like, I know all this data. Like, women carry a lot of wealth. We're in the middle of a huge wealth transition. And I just was like baffled. Like, how are not more women investors into venture funds, let alone VCs?
I have numbers on that. So you guys hear this out. Women are about to control $34 trillion. $34 trillion in investable assets by 2030. That's 5 times from a decade ago. And just according to, and I'll drop these all in the show notes for you guys, but only 25% of women say they take the lead on financial planning, and only half of them have ever opened an investment account. That is incredible to me. Incredible.
So where's the initial stat coming from? The 50, did you say 54% is just because we're living longer, or like where's that transition?
Why do we have $34 trillion in investable assets?
Yeah.
The great wealth transfer.
Yeah.
So we don't know why. It's just
people.
The
so women live longer than men.
Okay.
People are dying. So the money is being like turned over to family, to spouses, to et cetera. I mean, there's a culmination of a bunch of different things, but like, that is like, I think part of it is like women tend to live longer than men, and the women are inheriting the wealth or earning. Like now we have more women also earning more wealth than we've ever had before. So I think it's a combination. I don't know, Blakely. Did you have something different in the data?
No, I think that's the biggest wealth transfer for sure.
Okay, got it.
You know, and then kick-ass women like us, Heather, making money, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, we have so much shopping to do and plastic surgery.
It's funny. I do have that on the agenda, but there.
That's so crazy. Wow. That was a joke, everyone. Obviously, we're going to do other things with the money. But that's what people would think.
We are. But when I remember right shortly after I met Hayfa, she invited me to one of her women in investing forums, women's groups. I can't remember exactly. But I had just sold the company. So I had amassed a bit of some wealth from that. And
how much exactly?
A little bit. And a little bit. And I honestly, I was a finance major, you all. I was a finance major. I can run a P&L like nobody else. I can budget. I can CFO. I can do all that stuff.
P&L, profit and loss statement.
Yes.
Profit and loss, CFO, Chief Financial
Officer.
Yeah.
And if he's listening, I apologize because I can't really CFO, but I'm pretty good at a budget. And I had this check and I didn't know what to do with it. And so and not only did I not know what to do with it, I ended up hiring some financial advisors, which are 2 women, badass women, by the way, which I think is part of the reason why I hired them. Mm-hmm. But I also put my husband in charge, which is weird, for me. And because I just didn't want to get in the weeds, and I realized I was legit illiterate. And going to that group was a little eye-opening because I was embarrassed. And you're like, do not be embarrassed. Ask the questions. That was friendly, the whole point. Safe environment.
Because and the crazy thing is, and I know partnerships is what helps individuals take the risks and whatnot. But at the end of the day, Blakely, you exited.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not close to what's happening with yours, you and your husband, your family's money, but money that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into, right?
I know.
And I kept learning this. I'm like, what the fuck? I am a psycho with my own finances. And I'm still learning, to be very clear. I am expanding my own financial literacy, but women don't talk about money. They don't talk about investing money. They don't open doors for other people to invest money. They're more risk averse, which, we were fundraising for our fund. I would have conversations with women who were financially independent, retired, like had a ton of wealth, I would have like 6 conversations with them and they're like, I can't do it. And like my colleagues, 2 guys, would go to lunch with a random like introduction from a friend. It wasn't even like a fundraising conversation. They'd walk out of that lunch and that person's committed and they're like signing the papers the next day. And I'm like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. Why is it so much easier for the boys to just be like, hey, there's this opportunity, you want in? Where women was like, hold on, let's have like 27 conversations, let's deliberate, let me go back to my husband. Fine, I totally get the like partners making financial decisions together, absolutely. But I'm also like, you're smart. Like, what do you want to do? Like, and what's holding you back? Like, help me understand that. And like, let me educate you on this asset class just so you understand and you have the option. You can choose no. And I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But let's educate.
This didn't start with investing, right? Like, I feel like women have a hard time negotiating. They feel like they're bragging. They have a hard time talking about money in general. They feel guilty maybe for having it. Asking for a raise, like that's tough for women. Like all these things are tough for women. So like, why? I mean, this is part where like, I don't know. Someone tell me why.
I think a lot of it is, I think it's conditioning. I think it's societal conditioning, especially in our generation of how we are raised, of what it looked like, who's the main breadwinner, who runs the money, who's helping out at the house. So that's just the facts of life of how we are raised. And then if you were outside of that, which I was raised with a single mom for a big chunk of my childhood, and kind of that poverty line, not the entire time, but for a good chunk of it when she was ill, saw what it meant to live on welfare and those kinds of things. And so it was this kind of overall weakness of where we just had to be taken care of by the system. She totally came against that and had butted it and like started her own business and was very successful in that way. But it was overcoming all of these initial stereotypes. She was a beautiful woman. She had to overcome a lot of things in that to be taken seriously. But those things create just a sense of I must not know. Like that confidence from a very young age is not there, versus messages that, our counterparts and men were created and was like, nope, here's how you do it. Here's how you run it. And with my kids, I tried to give them that literacy as early as possible. It's just like, here's, you save some, you give some, here you live on the rest, that type of thing. But you have to be so intentional with it from a very, very young age. And I think we missed out on that as women.
I think you're right. I think that is a confidence issue. And how do you solve confidence issues? I think one of the first steps is education. And so that is where like this literacy piece comes in. And it's kind of daunting. Like there's a lot of, like Hayfa and I talked about this, and we've talked about this on the show before, but like one of the first scenarios when you and I met for lunch, I was saying I was so intimidated by the investors I would talk to at work because they would drop all these terms. We were like joking about the dry powder term. And like, it's just like, I
even had to Google shit. I was like, what the fuck are you saying?
Yeah.
But I never felt like I could ask the questions. I always had to like play it cool. Like, I know what you're talking about. I know what that means. And I didn't.
It's the feeling of being in the club or out of the club. And they just making him feel out of the club. And then, oh, by the way, if you do mess up, like look at Martha Stewart. I mean, the way that she was hung out to dry as an example of what so many other men had been doing for years, and it never even made the news.
Right.
And she just
really thought about it like that.
Called to task and serving time. And that her documentary is fascinating, by the way, if you haven't seen it yet. Martha,
it is so good.
So good. She was a Wall Street badass. She has done so much, but you think of her and it's like, oh yeah, insider trading. And then you see what really happened and how she was betrayed by her internal people. It's just they're sending the message of women just, they're cutting the system. They're
keep them down.
Not playing by the rules. Keep them down. Yeah, it's systemic.
Now look at her, man. She afforded a good plastic surgeon.
She did.
Some of these women, I'm like, damn.
Do you guys know Arlen Hamilton? Have you followed her at all?
No.
She's an investor in small business investing, but she spoke at a chief event a couple of years ago. Her whole thing is minority women investing in their businesses, even, like starting out with even $50,000, where she, like her fund will invest because Mark Cuban invested in her because he said, you will be in rooms I never will be in. And having that outlook instead of like, who's going to be smarter than us? Who am I going to be able to control? Expand your reach by investing in places where you would never be able to sell in that room and be open that way. It's beautiful. Yeah, she's got a great book. We'll put it in the notes too. It's called My First Million.
Nice. Well, and Blake, you had mentioned like the statistic on like what percentage of women get venture dollars. I have a really spicy hot take as it relates to that stat.
Let's hear it.
Which may piss some people off.
That's what we're here for.
I fucking hate that statistic. I hate that statistic because, and hopefully this, I mean, I guess it's going to make some people happy and some people mad. Listen, like, I want nothing more than to find more women to invest in. But the reality is, it's not like 50% of venture companies are founded by, like, it's not like 50% of companies are men, 50% of companies are women, and 2% of women are getting the money. It's like 95% men and 5% women. And of the 5% of women, and this is going to be the extra spicy part, a lot of the women I meet who are fundraising are, and hopefully no offense, they're building a mommy business. Or they're building a consumer business. And both of those are hard categories to be venture scale businesses. They can be great businesses, but they're not necessarily falling in line with the venture model, which is like you have to make the math work. Like when you're investing with venture capital, you have to see venture size returns. And we're talking like, can you, we talk about girl math, right? Like, can you make the math, right? Like, can you see a path to 100 million in revenue to $1 billion plus? Like,
so let's talk about that. What are those numbers? Like, let's like educate me on like, what does a venture look like?
I mean, at the baseline, like I have to, the market has to be big enough for like whatever you're selling to reach like venture scale. Ideally, it's not a crowded market. So like the hard part is like, are you coming up with a novel idea in a big enough market? And then depending
what's venture
on the
scale?
product,
big round numbers.
At minimum.
Yeah.
At minimum, when I meet a founder, I have to see a path to 100 million in revenue. And that isn't even like, that's just like baseline because we're early stage fund. You still have to then path your way to, can this become $1 billion business?
Wow.
There are so few businesses. I mean, so few that can reach that billion level.
Yeah.
And so a consumer product, which there's tons of, a lot of consumer products are founded by women. And there are products that reach that multi-billion level, right? They have to have that virality, that repeatability, that repeat purchase. Like
is that like Spanx, for instance?
Yeah, or like Skims.
Yeah, like retail, Skims. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, clearly products that are consumer products that have reached that scale. But for all of those, they're like thousands and thousands of companies who tried to build a product that was probably fucking awesome, but did not have the right time, right, like virality and market. Like, I mean, I think even Spanx, like the founder, like she will tell you firsthand, like perfect timing, like, obviously in a lot of hustle, right? Like it's
Timing's
not for a shortage of work.
Yeah. So 100 million is so much. 100 million. And so when you tell me about when you say, do I see a path? What does that even look like? What factors would add to that path?
Well, like first, it's like market size and demand for that solution. And then what do you charge for that solution? And then what percent of the market do you need to capture to initially hit that 100 million?
Okay, so you're looking at, you start backwards from the total, like the TAM, like the total addressable market, and say how much of that are we able to get? And are you looking for that to already be proven out before people come to you? Are you investing in idea at venture capital stage? Or you're investing in like, we've already have a customer base and now it's just how do we scale it?
I wish we had like a hard and fast rule. Generally, we like to see, especially in this day and age where like you can build shit super fast, like a minimally viable product. So people call it an MVP. It's a minimally viable product. It's something that is like a proof of concept for the thing that you are selling. Ideally, you have some users, even if it's like some paid pilot users or like a path to paying. Ideally, like for us, we generally, because we're not a huge fund, right? If you're like a gargantuan fund, you don't give a fuck. You spray and pray. You're just like throwing money everywhere.
Did you say egregious. Spray and pray?
Yeah.
That's like my new favorite thing.
Yeah. Spray and pray model.
That is going to be on a t-shirt. We're talking about taking guest
quotes.
I cannot take credit for that. That is a general quote.
I've never heard it.
You can take credit for saying it on Not All Business. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
So I am conscious of how long we have Hayfa, and I just want to get back to, like, we've uncovered the issue. We understand it. What do you do for these women? Like, how do they even start to get literate, right? Like, how do they get educated? What do we tell them? How do we help them? How do you help me?
Yeah. I mean, there's so many resources out there, and it can become like paralyzing, honestly, where you're like, where the fuck do I start? So first thing I generally say is like, get comfortable learning some of the baseline. Do you understand like 401k? Do you understand like health savings accounts, 529s if you have kids for like college savings? And like, that's baseline, right? Like, and even taking a step back from baseline before anything, right? Before you can even consider thinking about investing, you need to cover your ass first. Do you have any debt? Pay off that debt. Do you have an emergency savings account? Figure out what 3 to 6 months of all of your expenses, et cetera, is, and set that nest egg. That's like, pay off debt, emergency savings account. That's baseline. Start there. And then if you don't have those things, work towards those things. And then before you go like graduate to the next phase. The next phase is like, great, I've have emergency savings. I have no debt. And you can talk about like good debt, bad debt. There's certain like, and you can look into what's good debt versus bad debt. Like credit card debt, bad. Good debt, mortgage, like probably an asset in a house, right? Like, and student loan debt, that's like low interest, fine. And so you want to like calibrate around, like you can like have an emergency savings and have a little bit of debt, but I would just try to differentiate between good and bad. Good, like think the high level of good and bad is like, what is the interest that you're paying on that debt? If it's egregious, like credit card, which is like 15 to 20%, get that off. Like, get rid of that.
Good calories, bad calories, right? Like you stay full longer if you eat protein versus like sugar. So like one's a good calorie, one's a bad calorie. Good debt, bad debt.
Quarter pounder versus chocolate shake. Quarter pounder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
You know what?
So start I'm gonna, like with that.
Yeah. I was going to insert, I make my kids do a P&L every single month. And part of their P&L is to see if they have 3 months of their average 12-month spending in their savings account. And we make them do this before we reimburse them for anything, like gas or something or whatever our agreement is.
Wow.
And
point Blake.
Like, you're ahead of those kids are so fortunate. Like, that is like
they're going to walk into any job and know how to run a P&L. It's going to be phenomenal. They hate me
they probably don't call you for money for DoorDash, do they?
You know what they did? That is the origin story of the P&L, Heather.
Were they wasting money on DoorDash?
One day I said, we are busy. You guys can do DoorDash. It's fine. And you know what they did? They ordered from 2 separate places on DoorDash. And so what could have been a $20 combined bill was like a $60 bill because we had to pay 2 DoorDash fees, 2 tips, 2 of everything. And I'm like, enough. You're not getting reimbursed for those stupid decisions. Turn in a P&L. Anyway, back to your messaging, Hayfa.
Okay. So good debt, bad debt, differentiate them, pay off the bad debt, get 3 to 6 months. I'm more crazy, and I think it's healthy to have fuck you money. To me, the fuck you money is that 6 months of like, if you're in a shitty situation and you're
fuck you money is only
job,
6 months? Yeah.
No. That's like
so much fuck you money.
No. That's not fuck you money. That's like the fuck you money.
Like I can quit my job.
You could quit your job.
Yeah.
Then there's like the fuck you money. I could retire.
Right.
But this is like baseline.
Our AI is coming
You've got
for you.
enough
You
in
better have
emergency.
your 6 months. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not going to grovel.
Yeah.
I'm not going to feel like I'm in prison. I'm not going to be indebted to this.
Right.
I'm going to have self-respect.
I have choice.
Yes. I have
Totally
choice.
a privilege to get there. Like it is not for a lack of effort.
Okay. So you got your CYA money, and I got my fuck you money. Got it.
CYA,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yes.
Cover your ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cover your ass.
I got it.
And FU means
Cover.
fuck you.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I think everybody, like, my preference is like that emergency saving is not just like cover emergency expenses. It's like cover your ass, give yourself some optionality that if you find yourself in a situation where you're unhappy or it's toxic or like you have life circumstances or whatever, you can walk away.
Amen.
And it gives you enough buffer to figure out the next thing. So that's like baseline. Then the next category is like 401k, ideally through your employer. If you're self-employed, you could do a self-employed. I think it's called the SEP IRA, self-employed plan, where you can contribute pre-tax into those into those buckets. Those are helpful because it reduces your taxable income and can influence the tax bracket you fall into. So that's like a helpful thing to be like, I'm walking the line between a higher tax rate and the next tax rate. Like you can lower your taxable income by putting money into a 401k or 403b, depending on the type of, like if you're working for a nonprofit, generally it's 403bs. If you're working for like a private company or publicly traded companies, generally a 401k. So max that out if you can. And if you are younger and you have lower health risks, you can do a high deductible health plan, which typically lets you have a health savings account. And that health savings account is an investable account, and not a lot of people understand how those work. I'm not going to get into the nuances there, but like if you're on a high deductible health plan, get a high health savings account and use that as like, because that rolls over versus what is it called? The flexible savings account doesn't roll over. It's like use it or lose it, where a health savings account builds over time, like a normal investment account.
Can I insert another one?
You've maxed out. What was that?
I just want to insert one more as I know you were on the poverty line with your parents. I know you were on welfare, Heather, and I also was in food stamp limbo for quite a while. You can start an IRA for your kids, and I swear it sounds ridiculous, but even if you put a couple bucks in there, the earlier they start, you are just lifting up your next generation. And so I would also just throw a simple IRA in there for your children that they can put like
100%
their lawn mowing money in.
So once you max those things out and you've like you maximize like those types of investment buckets, what's left are private assets. Private assets can include real estate, private equity, like being an investor into a private equity fund, which like they then take that capital and invest into companies. Or venture capital funds. And there's, or you can do your own like direct investing into companies and whatnot. But those are like the three core buckets of like private asset classes. And so I generally say if you've like maxed out, if you've like got rid of debt, you've maxed out your emergency savings, you've maxed out like your 401k and blah, blah, blahs every year, and you have more left. So I understand this is a very like privileged place to get. You have more left at that point. You can do private assets, or you can also do like direct investing into the stock market. So you can like, I, for example, use Wealthfront. I'm not endorsed. I don't have affiliate links, but like it's a helpful thing because I do not have the mental capacity to like research every stock. So I just set up robo-investing in Wealthfront, and I like, what can I put in every month? What's my risk threshold based on my like age and my goals? And then it just does it on its own. And so it's like,
and is that just tracking on the S&P, or is that like, what's that?
You can do S&P. Okay. You can set it. It's like it's diversified across a bunch of different types of categories, and like mutual funds and ETFs. I don't know what ETFs stand for.
Sorry. So to back up, S&P, Standard & Poor's, not spray and pray, and then ETFs. ETF is exchange traded fund.
Exchange traded fund.
There we go. Yeah.
It's funny because I didn't really know that either. Yeah.
It literally, like, in some of the buckets will be like gold, money market, like, US tech. Like, it does it on its own and diversifies it based on your preferences. You can customize it if you're like a little bit savvier. I just don't have the mental capacity, nor am I that savvy. So I just was like, okay, well,
I don't buy that for a second. But okay, so I like this because from what you're saying, it sounds like you can do this with very little.
Yeah, you can start with like $5 a month. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
like,
and so I love this for the young 20 or, but before you've really even taken on debt, like, is there, something that they can be even starting a little bit to
I mean,
the compounding?
There's tons of like robo-investing like companies. So Wealthfront has it. I think there's like a female-focused one called like Alinea, or what is it called?
Oh no.
Alinea is like a female-focused financial literacy platform.
Female-focused meaning like in female-owned companies investing?
No, like the platform is to help improve female financial literacy. And so the whole app is targeted towards women and teaching women how to invest.
Yeah.
So super cool. It's automated portfolio stuff. Like it'll like do things for you. You can like watch it and say, okay, here's what I have left every month. What can I do? And it'll guide you through those things.
I'm so excited that we took time to cover this topic today. We could have gone so many different ways. I mean, we started out talking about pull-ups and we're closing out talking about Wealthfront management. So, from the stats that Blakely shared, it's just jaw-dropping about how many women are not engaging in this process and taking hold of it. And as we move toward this now next era where we are going to be controlling most of the world's wealth, was it world or country? Country?
It's just trillions.
Worldwide domination. Yes, as we approach that, ladies. Yeah, no, we need to be educated. So I feel way smarter than I did an hour ago just talking with you on this, Hayfa. And I really appreciate you trailblazing this path for women in venture capital and PE. We know those are very male-dominated rooms to be in, but it doesn't have to be that way. We need to just be willing to step in to these rooms more. So I really appreciate you paving the way for that and making it more achievable for all of us. Okay, before we let you go, we just want to ask the question that we ask all of our guests each week, and we will answer it ourselves as well, which is, what brought a smile to your face this week?
Ooh.
So as you're thinking about it, do you got Clay, Blakely? Do you have anything quick?
I haven't gone first yet, I think, so I'll just go first.
Great.
Obviously, the Detroit Lions played a game last night.
No.
Yes, they did.
I have to get it out of the way. I got it out of the way. They won.
Okay.
It was great.
I hope this episode doesn't air in February.
What?
Why? After we win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, like...
Well, no, it'd be an irrelevant fact. Okay.
Okay, well, this is actually my sharing time, and I promise to be quiet during your sharing time.
All right.
Okay. Gosh, I got uncomfortable. I don't like
elementary
I don't like
school.
talking like that. I tried to emulate what Heather does to me.
Yeah. Just being demeaning.
Anyway,
it's
the bully.
Super
arrogant.
Uncomfortable for me to do that. But big smile this week for me. I went car shopping with my dad, and I'm looking to buy a car, and I was super nervous about it. My dad agreed to go with me. We go. I have a conversation at these we went to these, two dealers, and afterwards we were sitting in the car driving away, and he turned to me and he said, "You are very good at this." And that made me smile really big. I felt really good after that. So that was nice.
That's
Nothing
so
better
nice.
Than hearing
So
that
how
from
are
a
you
parent.
thinking about the debt of purchasing a car?
Yeah, so...
I'm just kidding.
No, so great. I've been thinking about this whole conversation. So I do not want to go into debt on a car. And so I'm purchasing a used car. And if I purchase it, if I finance it, I will make sure that there's no early payoff fee. Because I want to basically want to pay cash for it, but I want the best deal. So we saved up to be able to pay cash for a car. So let's do
Clay,
this.
I'll sell you a car for $500.
What's the you got a Carfax? Like, what's the mileage? What?
I think it's probably worth like $1,500.
Okay.
Just saying. Talk to me later.
Okay. We'll go
Carfax.
offline about that. Yeah.
You can pay that out of your piggy bank.
Yeah.
All right. My smile for the week is my husband. We're a year and a half away from empty nesting, so we're like trying out all these hobbies just to make sure our time is covered and we're not like crying for the loss of our children in college. But so for my birthday, he bought me
When's your
dance
birthday?
lessons. It was October 1st.
What?
You guys missed it. Yep.
You did. I
Missed it.
never knew it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Hey, okay.
Okay.
We need to have a rule. If you're in the first year of friendship, and no, you don't tell the other person your birthday, they don't.
Fair enough.
I'm not accountable for not knowing your birthday. Now I
I'm
know
not really
next year I'm in trouble.
Person.
My birthday is November 18th.
Oh shit, it's coming up.
Ooh, and it's going to go, I'm going on record now. I do love my gift, love language is gifts.
I think they're both writing it down right now.
Okay, November 18th. And I guess I'll accept a back gift if that's your love language. Okay.
No,
anyway.
Receiving gifts is my love language. It's different. It's different.
Got it.
Just kidding. Okay, anyway,
birthday,
so he gave you...
Happy birthday.
Happy
Blakely.
birthday.
So Scott bought me dance lessons, but not just any dance lessons. He bought me dance lessons to Arthur Murray. Have you guys ever heard of that?
That's like the old school dancing, like the Charleston and
waltzing stuff.
Yes.
So fun.
That's
it
adorable.
is like a little. It's the little cult. You go in there and they like sell you on the personal, they sell you on the group, and then you have to go to like dance parties. And I thought this is going to be so cheesy, and it is so fun. You were like, we went to one last night. We probably
does he go with you, or does he just send you off to them?
No, this is like our date. We did
cute.
foxtrot, salsa, swing, rumba, cha-cha-cha one. I don't know what that one is.
Cha-cha-cha.
It could be the cha-cha-cha.
It's the cha-cha.
It's pretty, it's a little dorky and it's a little awesome and the people are super cool. And anyway, if I smile to my face this time, like,
oh my God, you're going to have dance friends. They're going to be so cute.
I know.
Are they all the same? Are they all your age? Are they older?
It is like literally the most diverse group I've ever seen in Boulder.
Really?
These are not the academics and the athletics. This is like a totally different crowd. They might be academic and athletic. I don't know. Who's to say they're not? But they're fun. They're like the fun. I'm okay being in public taking dance lessons kind of people, and I love it.
That's so fun. I'm so excited for you. Thanks. That's good. Mine, is football related too, because my dad called. He got a suite at the Bronco Stadium, which is really fun when that happens. And we got to go and see like the best game that the Broncos ever played. Fourth quarter, scored 33 points.
What?
It was incredible. Yeah.
Wow.
No, they were 0 up to the fourth quarter. Scored 33 points in the fourth quarter.
It's like
it's
never happened
in franchise history. Yeah. And it was the naming of Thomas. They were doing, number 88 in the Hall of Fame. And so Elway was there. The whole Super Bowl 50 team was all there.
Can you describe what it's like for that? Because it's 15 minutes, right? Each quarter is 15 minutes. What is it like for that 15 minutes being in the crowd? What is it like? What was it like?
It was, well, if I was in the crowd, I could tell you, but I was above the crowd. But, let me just imagine. We did open our window so that we could hear the fans.
Oh, yeah.
I did reach down to a fan who was trying to high five me from below.
You were Taylor Swifting it up there?
Threw him some popcorn. No, actually, we were in a suite, but we were in the guest section, which was really pissing me off because there was this guy who had a Dart jersey on from the Giants, and he kept standing up. And okay, if you're going to be a guest, if you're in the guest section, or you're not guest visitors, whatever the
away
team. The away team. If you're in the away team section, it's fun. You're clapping. Of course, you're cheering for your team, but this guy's egging everyone on. He's standing around. He's like, "How you like me now? How you like me now?"
Wow.
And so by the end, I just like throwing peanuts at his head, and he'd be turning around, and I'm just looking away. He was driving me crazy.
Oh my gosh, Heather?
No, you would have done the same thing. This guy was an straight up.
We never resort to violence.
Hole.
That's not where we go, Heather.
It was a peanut. Everyone's throwing peanuts. It's fun.
This woman was my Girl Scout leader. They were throwing rice at her wedding, and she got it caught in her ear, and she turned deaf. Like, don't throw the peanut.
I'm sorry. We're gonna that story needs to come on to the podcast next week.
Later? Okay.
Yeah, another time.
Haifa.
Yeah.
It was great, is what it was.
How do I follow rice deaf?
That's not a smile. So you smile, you follow it with a happy thing.
Oh my God,
like what brought a smile
so
to your face this week, Haifa?
Oh, goodness. Okay, smile to my face.
Yes.
I had a friend who I hadn't seen in person for a really long time visit this weekend. She was here for a friend's birthday, and she came a day early and stayed with me, and we actually got more than ships in the night, I'm in your city, let's get lunch kind of thing. And so, I've known her for a while. We've been on our own health journeys together. she just had a crazy health situation where she had a pulmonary embolism.
Oh,
and she's like 37.
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
Like she's pretty young. So just like she's on like another version of a health journey right now. And so her and I've just like, when I was in my 20s, we met in our 20s. I got colitis. She had lupus and Crohn's. So like we've been on this like health roller coaster. I know. Like just we actually at one point started.
Wow.
We joked that we were going to start like an Instagram or like blog called Turmeric and Ginger. She's Indian. And so she would be like representing turmeric and
good.
Me, the ginger. And also there were like anti-inflammatory foods and super healthy for your gut and blah, blah, blah.
That's my favorite kind of tea.
It was just good to see her and get that quality time. Like it's also nice when you have friendships where like you could always just like pick up where you left off and there's no no resentment, no like, why aren't you calling me, blah, 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 bullshit drama. Like, no drama, just friends. Just I
don't like that when a friend is bugging you like that. Like, why aren't you calling me? It's like, because I love you. Like, if I'm not, there's a reason. Like, it's not,
That's a podcast topic. I want to unpack that one later.
All right, let's do it. That's beautiful, Hayfa. I'm so glad you had that time with your friend.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for this week. Thank you so much, Hayfa. You've been absolutely amazing. Thanks, everybody, for listening and watching. And don't forget to hit subscribe. It really helps us out. See you next time.
Thanks, Hayfa. Ciao.